Hello and welcome to MVP, the Master's Voice podcast on MediaBrief.com. I'm your host and friend Pavan R Chawla, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with somebody who is truly amazing. Kartik Sharma, CEO of Omnicom Media Group India. Kartik is a respected professional, as you know, and he's been at the helm of OMG India, which is one of India's fastest growing media agency networks for the last 5 years. Kartik, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Pavan. Thank you for hosting me.
Wonderful to have you, and thanks also to your wonderful colleague Neha, who's actually made this interaction possible. A lot of coordination happened, but really it was like butter. So thank you very much. You're in great comms hands, I must tell you that. So, Kartik, let's start with the milestone that you very recently completed. In July, you completed 5 years as at the helm of Omnicom Media Group India. So, what have been your biggest learnings across this half-decade journey, okay? Both personally and for the agency that you're leading so beautifully.
I think it's a beautiful question you opened with. Having completed 5 years, one of the learnings is don't give up. Have the resilience. There will be, I first joined, I never imagined that I will be joining a company during like a black swan event like COVID. So that was nobody. So I joined the middle somewhere in July of 2000, and it started with that. And you learn many new things, new ways of working. The concept of work from home was there in some way, but not to the extent that all of us have kind of reimagined. You have to run the company for almost 2 years, just sitting in front of a screen. And my style of operation is where I actually work with teams, very closely with them, part of them. And that was a big challenge. But as many things in life, you learn and you keep moving. The resilience to see and being positive, because there is so much of negative news around us, including probably survival of humankind. And we all kind of manage that. So keep a positive attitude even on the darkest hours, at times what it feels.
Wonderful.
And never play a victim card. Because often in leadership changes, we blame the entire world, we blame the environment. Never blame the victim card and just do what is best that each one of us can do. I think those are the learnings.
Excellent.
Some of it both personal and some of it even professional. Personally, a lot of changes one had to make, adjustments in the way you work. Partly everyone did their household work. Then how do you manage time effectively? Otherwise, in the old ways of working, there was fixed time to go to office, then coming back. That was not the case. And both personal and professional moments were kind of intermingled. And you had to make some choices saying, hey, beyond this time, I will not work. Or I will take a break like this to keep your own self.
There was a meetings curfew, meeting stop at in the evening at 7 p.m. I think you told me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I ensured that we never did any reviews or something beyond 7 p.m. That was the cutoff time because people needed that time. There were all sorts of people coming from different socio-economic strata. And it's only fair that we give them that time. And I think in the overall thing, it has played out pretty well.
Right. Excellent. So, Kartik, you've seen OMG India grow significantly under your leadership, like over the last 5 years. So, when you joined OMG India as CEO, what was your stated mandate? What did you receive as the mandate? And, how far do you think you've been able to live up to it, achieve it, and perform well on that?
Pavan, very fair question to ask. I think the most obvious one was growth. And any company can survive only when there is growth. Growth of both existing clients, that they grow and therefore we grow. And also to keep getting new clients in various sectors. That was the stated one. But there was also something which the mandate was to create the right culture. Because a company is made because of the right culture, particularly in our industry, in fact in any company, but more so in our industry. So how do you build a culture? Omnicom is known for being an innovative company, a very entrepreneurial company which gives a lot of freedom to people. All that had to come out and balloon into something much bigger than any one individual. So a lot of work in the first 2 years I did was actually around the culture building of the company. There's a lot behind the scene. Actually, what is the stated culture? How do you ensure that those cultures come out in strong of behavior in people? Those are the pieces of work for almost 2 years.
Okay.
I was lucky to work with my leadership team and a larger extended set of people in defining the culture, which is around innovation, being ability to take risk, being entrepreneurial. Those were some of the areas that we really worked up.
Excellent. And I think culture is great to not only attract excellent talent, but also get the respect from and be heard well amongst potential clients also.
Absolutely.
How is 2025 this year? And we are slightly towards the other side of the middle of the year. We are in August. How has it shaped up for OMG India so far, in terms of client momentum, business health, and let's say the overall environment?
I think I'll first start with the previous year. In the 5-year journey, 2020 to 2023, I would say was a period or a phase of putting all the house in order, get the basics correct, strengthen all the pillars. That was essentially what we were doing. And that resulted in an outstanding 2024.
Okay.
Top line billings grow significantly. We were ranked number 2 in new business consistently quarter on quarter. Fast forward to 2025, as I said, August is over. Phenomenal amount of the same momentum continues in a market which is being a bit of mixed bag. Well, ADEX is anywhere between 8 or 10%. We are going significantly higher than that. So we are very happy with the results so far.
What was the growth numbers like? What were they like?
So they are in excess of 20% plus.
Wow.
In a market which is just about touching 10%. So almost 2x growth over the industry ADEX. So I think the momentum has been fantastic for us. Even this year we have won many new businesses and awaiting results for some more business that we have pitched. So to my earlier point of growth, which is on new client, that is also happening. And what is even more heartening is our existing clients are also doing well. Most of the clients, of course, there are a few categories which due to category and country context will have its challenges. But by and large, many of our clients are doing well. And that gives us deep sense of satisfaction that whatever we do for our clients, the growth is happening.
Was it last year that you got additional business of 800 plus crores?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
That's absolutely correct.
And so what has the CAGR been generally so far from, say, let's say 24 and 25 so far? Because you said 24 was fabulous growth because of the 23
our
crept.
CAGR will be anywhere, it depends on which month you see, but between 25 and 28% growth.
Excellent, excellent. In growth, I think there was one attribute that we were speaking about, that you're not just after any kind of, snatch and grab growth quickly, not temporary growth. There was one very, very important word that you used to describe the kind of growth you always chase, right?
Yeah. So there is always, when we look at growth, as you rightly, when we were speaking earlier, you can have all kinds of growth. We want a healthy growth. We want a sustainable growth.
Sustainable growth.
So a healthy growth is doing all the things, all the ethical practices to grow and not somehow try and get business at any cost. It has to be win-win for the client. What is right for the client is always going to be right for us. So that's the principle of doing the growth in the correct way and sustainable. So we don't want to grow one day at say 40% and another year at 10% and then minus and then go up. Eventually the CAGR over a long period of time may look at a certain number, but we want consistent growth. So we are great believers that consistency done over a very long period of time will unlock value.
Tremendous.
Tremendous value for both us and also for clients. When clients are looking for us, they are also looking for stability, long-term thinking, all those things they are also looking from us.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
That's the approach.
So if I were to I like to oversimplify sometimes for the very, very young professionals, even the students who are still studying in professional under and postgraduate programs, that the important things here are first you emphasized on the culture at OMG
Yes.
India. You worked on building it.
Yes.
2023 was a year of that kind of emotional culture, quality kind of investment into the company, right? And then when you look at the fact that your clients also, you've always been very connected with them, especially like during the 2 years of COVID.
Yes.
And all that has actually given you these wonderful
Correct.
results. 800 crores of new business in a year for a media network. Yes, OMG India is an amazing, very, very good, very sound network. But even the best, have to do much better than yesterday for a better tomorrow. So
Yes.
great job, great job.
Thank you.
How are client agency relationships evolving today, Kartik, in terms of expectations, collaboration, and I'd say accountability?
Excellent question, Pavan. I think there has been a sea change in terms of the last 3 to 4 years that we are seeing on how clients are, appointing agencies. So one of the big shifts that we are seeing is in the area of integration. When I say integration, what I mean is that today a typical client may have 4 or 5 different agencies, even within media. There could be a core media agency, there could be a performance agency, there could be a social agency, and that's becoming too complex for them, and they seek simplicity in that. So that's one clear call out. The second area is clients are constantly looking for how technology can help them shape their own business, and within that the latest trend is how can AI in particular shape marketing. Various types of and practical use cases of AI, and not just saying just the word AI. So that's one. And the third is on new, smarter commercial models of how one can remunerate the agency. Are good quality discussions which many of our clients have started doing.
Wonderful, wonderful. I have another very pointed question to ask you. We are in the middle of what many call an era of transformation, Kartik, in advertising and media, of course. And from your OMG experience, where do you see the most significant shifts happening on both the client side and the agency sides? I mean, let me just put it this way. What are clients asking you for today that they were not asking 5 years ago?
The couple of things which clients are asking today is the ability to not just talk media, but overall business. While we may not be experts in every aspect of their business, for example, a client wants to advertise, and if their distribution is says not strong enough, and if you are aware of it, you can actually recommend to the client don't advertise at that point in time because it's wasted money. Which means at the agency side, you need to have a full understanding of how the marketing ecosystem works, and not just being branded as just a media planner who just creates a media. So that's one. Because second thing is a lot of media discussion, because media budgets are one of the largest component of the marketing budget.
Sure.
Is therefore becoming board conversations. Many of our presentations are sometimes to board members, sometimes to investors if they are a startup. And the type of question is how can they get the future growth? They are looking not 1 year, they are looking at 3, 4, 5 years forward. And therefore they are leaning into agencies like us at OMG, looking at what kind of information and insights which we can unlock, which will help them to
Sure.
develop the business.
Sure. So that business orientation is very, very, and
Absolutely.
understanding is very important.
Absolutely.
Also, perhaps the ability in everybody who's in client servicing or whatever other aspect, media buying, etc., the ability to understand, read, and reflect upon a balance sheet.
Absolutely.
And not just at the superficial or surface kind of level. Actually, you've given us a lot of insights, a lot of things about, there's culture, there is being careful about client attrition and keeping clients with you and being partners to the clients. All of that is important. But I'll still ask you to crystallize this wonderful advice that you have given, which I've sort of taken out from what you've said. Can you, for young professionals entering advertising and media today, provide 3 important tips that are important from your perspective? They can be 4, but 3.
Sure.
Let me.
I'll give my best shot, Pavan, on which are the three.
That's
It could be,
better.
it'll be 3 or 4. So starting with first is tons of common sense. While they will come from very highly qualified, educated, nothing replaces common sense. And we are entering in a world where machines and technology is taking over many of our decision making, both voluntary and involuntary, which is fine up to a point. But I would urge younger people coming in, please don't use the common sense. Second is whichever part of the media or advertising you are getting into, get the fundamentals right. The first principles absolutely clear in your mind, because technology can solve one part of the problem, but first principles are first principles by definition.
And they let you look at the big overall picture.
Yeah. And third, have the patience. Have the patience to develop yourself as professionals. Invest time and energy so that it is not a 1 year, 2 year game. This is like a mega test match. You have to play for years together. So you have to build that resilience. So keep learning even after you have got great degrees. Don't stop learning. And learning is not just what you do in colleges. While that is great, do learning every single day, every single moment. Even if you learn one thing, the power of compounding will start coming in. One thing I learned today, 365 days, just imagine. Now you do this for next 25 years.
Correct.
And these are the small things when you learn will suddenly over a period of time, the value is going to be so immense.
And which add up and round you beautifully.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very, very good advice, Kartik.
Yeah.
How should an advertising and media creative plus buying agency, or how does OMG India connect brands more meaningfully with Indian consumers in this very, very fragmented state that we see the attention economy in?
Okay. There are 3 different parts, Pavan, to your question. So one is how we are looking at media and also looking at creative in some sense. So the first part of that is, one, we work very closely with creative agencies wherever those possibilities exist. So many of our clients work with other Omnicom creative agency group within the group. So that becomes a natural. Even if it is not an Omnicom-led creative agency, we are amongst friends. So we reach out, we understand, because there's still a lot of value in the planning work, the account planning work done by the creative agency. Second is there are today many tools available which help you unearth and understand the insights of the consumers.
Okay.
So at OMG, we have a particular tool, a trending tool, which tells us about the top 10, 15 trends happening at a category level for a client.
Oh.
And that itself will tell you what you need to do on comms and what you probably need to do on media. So
And do you give the benefit of virtually daily updates to your clients also from those learnings, or you only use them for yourself?
We use it for the clients, but these are not tools because these are little longish trends. There's not much you cannot see. It's like, let me give a different analogy. It's not like a fear index or a VIX index that the stock market puts, but these are little more long-term trends that we are looking for over the last few years. And therefore, these are typically either biannual or annual exercise that we do. While the data is real time, the read of the data is either biannual or annual. The third part is there is still a lot of role in terms of observation of consumers. So we encourage even our media folks in OMG to go and do visits with clients and see how consumers, sometimes it's mystery shopping we do. And there you learn many things about what the consumers are actually feeling, perceiving.
So you're the fly on the wall there.
Yes.
Kartik, one area that stands out, even from what you just told me, is how creative meets technology.
Yes.
In your entire ecosystem. So my question to you is, creative data and technology are converging in powerful ways, right? And how does OMG India bring creativity and AI into its media strategy so that they can deliver better outcomes to brands?
I think and I believe that OMG is one of the few agencies which talks a lot about the power of creative. Because on various published studies, what we have seen is creative is number 2 after the brand size, which is number 1. Creativity or creative is number 2 in terms of importance for the brand success. So we have invested in many tools which tell you the quality of creative.
Tell me about the tools.
So these are third-party tools which tells us about the attention factor of a creative. So
okay, how long it holds?
how long it will hold your attention or not. Because you can have the creative, but if the attention is going to be poor, God forbid, then it's not going to be effective. Whatever media plan you do.
No stickiness.
So what we tell the client is that important aspect of how to make that creative stand out and be more attentive. We don't tell them much, and that is not our area of expertise to tell them whether the reason to buy in the communication or the proposition itself was right or not. But these are tools which are based on eye tracking, which tell you whether the creative is good to go or not. And then the tool also gives you suggestions on what edits, if any, to be made. So that's where technology starts meeting creativity. But over and above this, we spend time internally discussing about what is the media insight for, say, a brand.
Okay.
And that media insight, once articulated and clear, that will become a powerful media idea which can be used by the brand.
Wonderful. So think about this. For the very, very young professionals in the making and just in the profession, can you give me a little example of how this thing has helped in terms of, how to approach the media plan, etc.? Anything at all that comes to mind?
I'll give you a general sense of how the media plan at OMG starts. It starts with a business objective.
Business objective.
First, it has to start with some business objective. Typically, the business objective could be a growth in market share or even defending, not lose market share or whatever it might be.
Yes.
We do our own set of bunch of analysis, and then we tell the client what are the important aspects in the media plan. The media planning anywhere, done by anyone, has to answer 4 or 5 questions.
Right.
What is your target consumer? Where is your market?
Sure.
What is your media mix? How much you have to spend? And what is the trade-off between reach and frequency?
All this determined by the business objectives.
Business objectives. There is no one fit-all solution.
Sure.
It is completely contextual. In fact, even within a same category, 2 different brands may have very 2 different strategies.
Absolutely.
So these are the questions. The questions will always revolve around who's this consumer, where, what is the market.
Got it.
For example, if a client has money only to advertise in one market, and while the brief may say 3 markets, then you are probably, not spending the money wisely. So those are the things, depending on the analysis which throws up, we do that. And within that, we see opportunity of what could be the media insight, for which we have to understand the creative process. What is the current creative? What is it trying to communicate? What does the brand really want to communicate? And from there, you are able to arrive at a sense of, whatever strategies that you want to give to the client.
The return on investment, so to speak.
Yeah.
Return on objectives, rather.
Return on objectives.
Right. So it's obviously more important to...
Yeah, it is quietly, for younger viewers, it's a very lengthy process. Okay, it is not a process that we crack on one day. There's a lot of time being spent on getting on understanding the brief. That is where we soak our time to understand what is really challenge of the brand.
Like a doctor, तुम्हारी तकलीफ क्या है?
Exactly.
What is required to be done?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So Kartik, let's now talk about the media platforms, different kinds of media platforms, because they are the ones that are actually determining the media mixes that are deployed, and they provide the connections, brands to hopefully their target audiences and groups. So give us a deep dive into one very, very important medium today, which is connected TV, and its current delivery, and let's say future potential, even if it's not yet big enough to, it's not bigger than 50 million by any stretch of the imagination, but it's growing. And I believe that every new television set that is bought by a home that doesn't have a TV, which is on the fringes in the back of beyond the high growth tier 3 and 4 markets
Yes.
now, has to be a smart TV, has to be a connected TV or potentially connectable TV. So I do believe that CTV numbers will be very, very high, slowly but steadily. And, starting from an arithmetical growth, they probably are now looking at a geometric growth across the country. So give me your overview on CTV. How important is it? How big is it? And how open are you to using it? I know a lot of marketers, a lot of brands that really love CTV.
Yeah. Pawan, thank you for the question. I think there are multiple questions within the question.
Yeah,
so let
sure.
me start with the last one first. How big is CTV? Our estimate is it is anywhere between 40 to 50 million household. And
OMG India's estimate.
Yeah, that's the
40
estimate.
to 50
It is,
million.
yeah. And various industry sources, some start at 30, 40, 50, different platforms will say. I would peg it somewhere between 40 and 50. Having said that, it is the access to CTV, and access is different from actually viewership. So
Correct.
those are the two different points. As you rightly pointed out, it's still climbing up slowly, steadily. Market and marketeers are shown great interest. It typically starts with more affluent households' ability to buy CTV, and new replacement, as you rightly said, will also slowly, steadily become CTV. So
And it might cannibalize on the actual C&S TV
yes,
universe.
there's a potential. Of course, there's a potential. But
Yeah, please continue. Sorry, I interrupted.
No. Amongst the affluent households, very clearly some of the pilots and experiments that we have done, we keep running these experiments with clients to see the worth. It's heartening to see that CTV is giving very, very good results. Now, where the industry has to work more is CTV measurement. And there are both, either measurement can come from industry bodies, or if the industry body is not yet ready, then there are many companies which I know which are trying to get their head around and provide some kind of a measurement solution. I think we will get more and more comfort and clarity in the next 2-3 years as this explodes and more players come in. But surely for affluent and certain cohorts, very clearly CTV is doing exceedingly well in terms of impact on business, impact on brand, and the entire gamut of what marketing can deliver. The opportunity really is about how creative can you be, what are the kinds of tests and experiment. I'm a great believer in test and experiment and learn. You cannot have in a country like India, you can't have a simple solution saying, hey, I've solved all. I don't think that's the right approach. So a lot of tests and learn approach is what we are doing currently to understand for different clients, different tests, different markets, there are different tests. Long story short, great potential, 40-50 million and more to learn.
Absolutely. In fact, I also understand and believe that, as long as there is a premium audience that a marketer is after, if that one condition is met, then CTV is like a default on the media plan, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
In fact, just the other day, Godrej's global head of media, Chawla, was telling me about that. So yeah, I also agree with him there. And I think all you leaders are on the same page as far as I can see. But yes, measurement is important.
Yes.
That's one thing that really needs to get better. Let's talk about YouTube. YouTube is a huge streaming app, has always been the biggest in India in sheer user numbers, right? And now thanks to movie premieres, first time here, release here, the entire Amir Khan basket and heavy, considerably good basket with a lot of repeat value. And even the newer movies that are coming up. And now thanks to Flipkart Black, which is now packaging YouTube Premium and YouTube Music Premium on Black, 1499, just as Amazon has Amazon Prime. Flipkart now has YouTube. So what's your assessment of YouTube's future potential for its own business growth and its stickiness with marketers?
I think YouTube has been in the market for a very, very long time, and it's a significant player for advertising.
Sure.
So, and it continues to grow strength from strength. So I think the way India is structured, unlike other markets, it's going to be coexistence. India is a value market by and large. It's not a
Sure.
cheap market, it's a value market.
Value.
And what will determine the success of any of these platforms is going to be content. Because when you look at it purely from the consumer side, the consumer is not making, as long as it is in an affordable range.
Sure.
Which screen, what he or she is consuming, they really don't worry so much. As long as it's not too expensive, they're willing to pay some small money for it. And content, therefore, really becomes king in that sense. Because
No loyalty, only
no
appointment
loyalty,
fee.
yeah. That's the good and the bad part. The content, if you can get some exclusive content, you earlier referenced about Amir Khan's films. So if you put high quality content, whether it's a film or a documentary, all kinds of content are being now consumed. And it's therefore becoming very personalized, right? In the single TV household, you are determined in a way by the TV household.
Correct.
But here, when it is more personalized, if it is largely, say, mobile, I will watch in the same household, I may be watching news, or somebody else may be watching movies, somebody may be watching a repeat sports telecast, so on and so forth. And that's the beauty of what some of these platforms bring.
Yeah, on the go.
On the go.
Which is why Uday Shankar launched Hotstar in 2015, and he said, I don't care if it cannibalizes my own channel, Star Plus, and the other big ones.
Yeah.
But that was really visionary thinking.
Correct.
And look at how JioStar or Jio Hotstar is doing today.
Yes.
Fantastic. The future of linear television. From my days with Ahad CID, Vamarina, Mayagya and Sony Entertainment Television, it used to be, and I still think it's very, very powerful, the original big electronic big screen medium of India, the darling of the masses, television, linear television. What do you think about linear television? Its size today, how is it growing? Is it growing well enough? It's huge. We know that it's here to stay for sure. It will probably diminish over time, and time is in all caps.
Yeah.
So just give me your big informed overview and any insights that will help marketers use linear TV really well.
For all the importance of what digital can do, like whether it's YouTube or any such platform, there has been enough said in the media about that so-called death of television. I don't believe I come from that school of thought.
Yes.
I think what all the experiments and all the ROI studies that we have done clearly demonstrate the value of TV, particularly linear TV. Yes, they are under pressure. There's no doubt about it. But there's nowhere near, I don't think we should even think of they diminishing anytime soon. Many markets, particularly FMCG in a case in point, any mass market products and categories, there's a huge role for linear TV even today. Both in terms of their ability to reach, their attention, and also the ability to impact and build memory structures and therefore businesses. So that is what we have learned across all the studies that we have done so far. There are multiple Indias. The reason why this is happening, and we have to understand, is there is no one India.
Correct. There are many Indias.
There are many Indias. Even within we are here today shooting in Mumbai. There are many Mumbais to begin with.
Correct.
Right. So when you go to South Bombay,
Sure.
it will be a very different cohort of mindset. Vis-a-vis central Mumbai, there's a different cohort of mindset, even within a city. And if you extrapolate, we all know the answer. So therefore, it's a very important tool in the hands of the marketers and agencies. And they're also constantly, changing. The channel owners are also changing. The programming is changing. Looking at what is happening in the market.
Evolving,
It's evolving. It's not the same programming what we would have seen, say, 25, 30 years back. So it's only fair to say that everything is evolving. But does it build business? The real question, is it helping us marketers build business? The answer is absolutely yes. There may be a few exclusion category if you are super premium, where the need while you can reach, the number of customers that you have to serve is so small, it may not make economic sense. The other reason why linear TV is still important is any product category. There are only a small set of people. If let's say there are 100 people in your target group, only a small proportion, maybe 5%, 10%, depending on the category, which are in market. It's a great tool which is also out of market. So today you and I may not be in market for say a jeans. But yes, do you wear a jean? Yes, I wear a jeans? Yes, and probably any such product category. We are looking at advertising, we are out of market in the hope the advertiser is doing, right? Eventually at some point in time when there is a need to replace or buy a new one, it comes top of mind.
Correct.
So advertising has both a short-term role and therefore long-term role. Reflecting that on media is therefore TV has both a short-term role. There will be some brands where we have to sell the product today.
Correct.
But there's also a product, and in both it does beautifully well, both in terms of efficiency, ROI, and helping the business.
Whether it's tactical or strategic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You said many Indias, and one example has just come to mind. I was just going through how Jio Hotstar and Jio Star rather is going to provide, if you look at the 2 fortnights across this festive season of Diwali, which is really when everybody is out to buy and marketers are out to sell and connect with buyers. Big Boss now. There are 5 Big Bosses. So 5 Big Bosses editions for many Indias in India. When you come to the 5, let's say the 15 days of the Diwali, the thick of Diwali season, all 5 editions will be on. If somebody as a brand wants to go across India through those markets, HSM and all of South gives you 200 to 250 million.
Yes.
When you look at television and digital, and North gives you another 250 to 300 million. That combines to around 500 million, 450 to 500. And that is what the IPL also gives you, about 900, 800, 900 odd million. I don't have those numbers exactly, but I think that's the ballpark, right? And Big Boss is lower in cost or entertainment than the big, IPL. So essentially they are giving you cricket kind of results with entertainment on the big screen. And that is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if a brand wants to go only into a certain market, then they can go to the particular edition and go ahead there. So how do you look at linear and CTV in the currently ongoing festive season for your clients? And CTV, these 3.
So I think there are 3-4 different subjects or topics which have come in. I'll try and simplify to the best of my ability.
Please.
I think our earlier conversation on CTV, there are certain target groups or cohorts where we have done experiments which we know works. We will continue with that. Decision to go regional. I think the question which is, if I have only brand which is regional, should I do all that? Whether it is Big Boss or any other title is dependent on a multitude of what the brand wants to achieve. And if the brand also has studies around the ROI of any of those investments, and if the ROI is good, yes, it'll be in part of the plan. Sometimes brands, unlike popular belief, may not have necessarily the budgets always, and they will look for various options. If they can't, let's say, do Big Boss, that's also a reality. So the question is between linear TV, CTV, for irrespective of the format, what as a media agency and what the client is really looking for is how will it help me impact his or her business. That's the biggest lens that we will do.
Sure.
Most of it driven by data, client-specific data. Some driven by our own, collective judgment, intuition, saying, hey, this is worth taking. And that's how the addition of a media plan is happening. I know I'm not given a straight-jacketed answer because
there is no one size,
as you know. There is no one perfect answer here.
Sure.
But the approach is of finally everything we do, we don't do because it is called impact property. We don't do because it is called big cricketing. We do because it'll help business.
Correct.
That is the mantra. of how we decide anything.
Correct. And OTS doesn't mean guaranteed engagement, right?
Exactly.
But then on linear today with the Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi and a Big Boss and such big properties coming, even on Colors and the others and Sony, it's going to actually drive linear viewing for sure.
Absolutely.
And then the connected CTV connections will also
Yes.
sort of look up. The large screen is television. CTV also is television, right? My little mobile or mobile device is actually, that should come in digital. So regardless of what is bringing in content to my big screen at home, whether I am in a tier 4 market or a tier 1 market or a major metro, I should look at the medium that I'm watching it on, the device I'm watching it on rather.
Yeah.
Right? So would you be, I just feel that CTV and linear TV should be both clubbed as television.
Okay.
Okay? As it is, there is not enough of measurement on CTV like you mentioned. Correct? But that's my thought. Do you think the industry should get together and say, look, regardless of whether, see, earlier it was only cable, then C&S TV happened. So another medium came in. Now connected digital, broadband, etc. has come in. So why isn't all of that television?
Very good question, and I think Pavan, the answer is in your question. You use the word screen. In OMG, we think of multi-screen.
Sure.
We don't say TV or digital or this thing. We optimize for multi-screen,
Okay.
irrespective of the size of screen. For example, even cinema hall is a screen. Anything which is viewable, it has a potential. However, care should be taken that the attention from each of the screens is going to be very different. So, large screen vis-a-vis a smaller screen, intuitively one would say yes. But today we have enough studies on attention as a metric, which is overlaid on some of the basic reach metric. And when you do that, you are seeing that the attention ability of different screens, irrespective of whether it's digital, linear, whatever, is very different. And therefore, the value that you are willing to pay for attention adjusted reach, which is the terminology that we use.
Very
This
nice.
attention, it's just not pure reach, but it is attention adjusted reach is very different, and therefore optimization of the media plan is very different.
Perfect. Kartik, very interesting, very insightful response to my last question. As to all of the others, really, I'm grateful to you for that. And also very happy that, and thank you that you're hosting us in the ONG office, which is where we are shooting this episode. I just want to now move from the happiness of lovely mediums, great content, linear is doing well, everything else, to the challenges in the ecosystem that we face. I mean, ad fraud and measurement gaps remain two of the industry's biggest challenges.
Yes.
Ad fraud and measurement gaps.
Yeah.
And what is OMG India doing to address these issues and ensure better planning, better buying, and better outcomes for clients?
Yeah. So I think, Pawan, excellent question. Ad fraud has been a big problem for not only us but the entire industry. So what we do is we work with ad fraud detection companies and actually try to first estimate the level of ad frauds on a client's business. As a result, some of the steps that we have taken and we have, those are proprietary internal things that we have seen, is that there are certain types of environment where the probability of ad frauds will go up significantly. We first try and avoid that. So
What kind of environments are these?
These could be sometimes, affiliates. This could be some types of aggregators. Where and
Slightly dodgy ones.
Slightly dodgy ones.
And you don't go with untried and untested people, right?
Yeah. So I'm not saying all affiliates and all aggregates, just to be very clear.
Understood.
Yeah, these are some of the, untested ones, particularly, where one has to be very careful. Therefore, high quality, premium quality inventory where it comes. And you keep testing and you as I said earlier,
like you said, testing
you
is
keep
important.
testing, you see what is the level of, frauds happening. That's on the ad fraud part. There are many tools. These are third-party tools. Clients want to work with multiple different third parties, and we always welcome them to work with whoever they are comfortable. So that's one part on the ad fraud. The second part of measurement, the measurement challenge, while it has come to the forefront, it has been a challenge for the industry for the past many years.
Yes.
We haven't spoken of measurement to the extent that we are speaking today because the complexity of the business.
Sure.
As I mentioned earlier, the media budgets are the largest portion of the marketing pie.
Yes.
And therefore, questions coming from shareholders are only valid.
Hmm.
Measurement has two parts to it. One is, what is the value of the reach and frequency I'm getting from a particular medium?
Okay.
There are many media like CTV today. How do I measure it and therefore what it does? The second part of measurement is impact on business, which is what we call effectiveness. Both are important. So even if I solve for one, the first part, which is knowing what is the reach of something I'm buying, is the what I call the output part of the business. The effectiveness, what if I buy a media type, what is it doing to my business, is the outcome part of the business. The measurement is twofold. The large portion of the industry discussion around measurement is on output itself, because we don't know that clearly. How will I actually measure the impact on business? So there are no perfect systems globally. Let me first tell you. Contrary to a lot of belief that maybe US has cracked it, this is a problem. It's a global problem. So we have to make do with whatever best tools that one has. So some of the issues around industry-led data around, say, digital and all that. There are a lot of high-quality research companies, private companies. There are many new data companies which are coming and sharing data. We, again, each of them, my favorite word, we keep testing them and learning and seeing, is it making sense? When we test, we also test for things like, is it making intuitive sense of what we observe as reality? Is it in line? And there are many studies. Once you do, you will get a good answer on what an industry tool cannot provide. An industry tool could be a TGI, it could be a BARC, it could be anything. But outside of that, there are many high quality data partners today that we work with. And the measurement part, once you have this data, then you have to have a vision and a mindset to actually want to understand the ROI. More than the ROI, it's a way of what ROI kind of tools do is help you do what if. What if I had only 10% less money? What would I have done different? The beauty why you need this, you need a kind of a mathematical model to do this, is because you want to repeat it again and again.
Sure.
The ability to predict again and again. Otherwise, the point estimate, if I just study today and I have to come back after 1 year, yes, it's a study. What happened between month 1 and month 12?
Right.
Did I make some mistakes? I will never know unless it's a continuous study.
Perfect. So is there a system that you have whereby, I mean, a client comes to you and says, let me understand or see or look at whatever knowledge and wisdom you or insights you have gleaned and farmed into your system of intelligence, okay? Because there is an objective, there is a company, there is a market. So much of an investment gets you this output.
Yes.
Then what is the outcome?
Perfect.
And then if the outcome is worth the cost, so do you have outcome weighted kind of insights for your clients, and are they proprietary? I'm sure they are.
Yeah. Pavan, excellent question. Yes, short answer is proprietary. So our marketing platform is called Omni. It is
Omni, yes.
Omni.
Yeah.
It's a world-class platform. 3 years in a row, Forrester has rated it as the #1 platform across all.
Forrester no less.
Forrester no less. And the global platform is also operating in India. So think of Omni like a super app where you can do multiple things inside a single app rather than having to come out. That's the simplest way to think about Omni. One of the models within Omni is actually budget estimation for a client.
Okay.
Based on, now how do you estimate a budget? You want to estimate a zero-based budget. And to do that, what we have done over multiple years, the Omni has been in shape and firm for the last 10 years.
Right.
Millions of dollars of investment globally, which has gone in. From an India standpoint, we have ingested over 1,800 econometric models.
Wonderful.
For those of the viewers who are watching it, econometric model is nothing but a mathematical relationship which you are building between all your marketing inputs and your business outcomes. So we have about 1800 adjusted for category, context and all that. That tells you very clearly what is the marginal ROI, what is the advertising ROI. So every problem in marketing cannot be solved just by throwing more money. So even if a client says, I have $100, now let me double it. At point in time, you may actually see that the marginal ROI is actually coming down.
Right.
So we are able to estimate it mathematically and actually provide at what is the optimal budget that the client should spend.
And you will probably also be able to provide alternatives.
Exactly. Now, for some of you, it may sound, hey, is it so good to be true? So we test that also.
Yes.
What we told the client vis-a-vis what has happened, the accuracy of what we do is in the range of between 92 to 95% coming from the two.
Wonderful.
So everything that I tell my client, then I test it after a couple of months saying what we said, has that outcome actually come? And that gives us a lot of confidence that what we are telling the client is absolutely high quality stuff which they can go and implement.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very insightful. In fact, I am tempted to ask you if we can, in another short episode, have you give all our audiences a walkthrough across the Omni.
Sure.
On a full screen, we'll shoot that and, you can redact what you don't want to show.
Yeah, sure.
But the rest, I think just the whole working is going to be very, very interesting. Today creative effectiveness is under pressure often from short-term performance demands, But then sometimes you're pushed to be tactical. I want this quickly. But still, what do you see as the top challenge for creativity in advertising today? Yeah, and how can agencies and clients safeguard long-term brand building?
The first thing the trend that we are seeing is that extreme short-termism in thinking and thinking of even the creative outputs. So, for example, a campaign is probably running only for a quarter, and the need to change the copy keeps happening. So, I think the reasoning is that there is a certain wear out which is happening for those advertising. Reality is somewhere different because consumers are busy in their own life. They are not always waiting for advertising. Advertising in almost all categories it's actually intrusion in people's life. But advertising works as a beautiful nudge, and therefore believing in what you created and be at it for a reasonable amount of time. Now, reasonable could be 2 years, could be 3 years, depending on the category or the brand. But that's a good enough time where you don't make changes. But as you see the present trend, the changes in terms of number of advertising copy is pretty high. The second thing is to test however good, because the enormous amount of time goes in thinking about an ad, but you also have to test it.
Right.
While clients do test it, what happens if you do have a bad copy? If unfortunately best of intent doesn't come out, our recommendation in many cases is you fix that. If it is too bad, please do not air it. It's good money going behind that. So those two are very important components. Spend high quality time in thinking little more short term vis-a-vis long term. Related to that, in short term vis-a-vis long term, is brand versus performance.
Correct.
Right? So the performance metric largely comes from the digital set of channels. Largely comes. I'm not saying TV can't be used as performance. You can, and a few clients do use that. But majority is performance, means digital. Short term.
Yeah.
My earlier points, there is a here and now, there's a small in market, and there is a out of market. Performance does brilliantly in where works on people who are already in market. They are kind of primed. Today I'm looking for, say, a two-wheeler. There's a need. So suddenly in that state of mind, anything which I see, I'm already primed. But let's say you are not in the market for a two-wheeler, but you are a potential customer. 6 months down the line, the brand does the work for you there also. So
Agreed.
there is a good mix of both what we call brand and performance. There is another totally different school of thought that every marketing dollar is performance because the brand also has to perform.
Correct.
And performance anyway has to perform.
Yes.
So whichever way you see it, there is a good case to balance out both brand and performance.
Kartik, another very important thing that has happened in development recently is the government's ban on real money gaming. Okay? The government's recent restrictions on real money gaming apps like Dream11, for instance, I'm just naming one of them, there are so many. They have major implications for ad revenues. How do you see this impacting agencies and publishers? And what lessons should marketers today take from this development?
Yeah, I think the ban has come in a very unexpected manner. And the impact, our estimate as OMG is it's anywhere between 9 to 10,000 crores.
9 to 10,000 crores.
That's a significant amount of money.
Huge.
These are events which honestly one can't plan too much. When a business starts, it is on the assumption it will be going. But when a governmental intervention happens, it's very difficult to, and there will be short-term setbacks for either, definitely for the brands which are under consideration, and more so for agencies which have those categories under them. You really can't plan too much, but these events can happen any point in time. The regulators can take a view, and therefore the only thing an agency can hope for is having a well-diversified portfolio. Like in personal finance, you don't put everything into one basket.
Sure.
Same in running a business, you have to have, and that's the only hope. Unfortunately, there are no easy answers on what one can and one could have seen. Maybe very, very difficult.
Which are the sectors that will be sort of
So the
hit most because of the
sectors
lack
will
of
be-
sponsorship money?
There will be all the sporting
Yes,
events,
yes.
both on air and on ground. Even performance marketing, because many of these brands are spending a huge amount of money trying to get new customers. Say,
Correct.
for example, download an app and then use it. That's going to take a hit.
Kartik, retail and quick commerce, they are fast emerging opportunities. So what's your assessment of retail quick commerce as a media channel in India, and how should marketers approach this? Short answer.
Yeah, definitely retail and quick commerce have caught the imagination of the consumers. It solves a problem of immediacy for many people, but the extent of that is, I believe, to certain large metros currently, and of course it will over a period of time. From a marketer standpoint, it will have a huge impact on their margins because there's a margin sharing which will happen. And therefore, how well can you optimize that? Many of the players, it will be one of the channels. At this juncture, very few players will have only retail or quick commerce as the only play. There will be few exceptions to the things I say. It will be one of the channels that they have to do. You cannot not have a strategy around retail and quick commerce.
Absolutely.
That's very clear. And different brands, again, depending on their overall marketing strategy, they will have to keep reimagining and be very, very agile.
Absolutely. And retail and quick commerce are huge because they're very, very good, especially now in this festive season, impulse buys.
Exactly.
And also if you look at the payment gateways,
Yes.
great places to nudge for offers and other things from the allied quick commerce and retail spaces. So
What's happening is a lot of consumers who are looking for a wide range of variety, they come, and the one biggest reason why they end up choosing a brand often is the price.
Absolutely.
And therefore, there is a erosion of margin, and therefore my point on how do you manage, and one of the jobs of marketing is actually to get a better margin for the brand. So
Absolutely.
it does take a hit on the margins.
Kartik, I've enjoyed my conversation with you. Really lots of insights and a lot of patience and wonderful hospitality. Thanks to you. Thanks to Neha Nair of your team.
Thank you, Pavan. And
What did you think of our chat?
Oh, I think it was wonderful questions. Some questions really made me think. Thank you for inviting me and all your kind words. Thanks to you and your wonderful Media Brief team. They've done a fabulous job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What do you think of what we are doing in the marketplace with Master's Voice podcast that you're featuring on, with Media Brief, all our deep dives?
I think for definitely the people who are coming into the industry, if you can deliver this, and which you are delivering this, it's a good resource for them to kind of reference. It's like a reference book, because these are what we are discussing is not to a great extent going to be dated anytime soon. Maybe
Absolutely.
a particular trend, maybe here on CTV, something else may happen, but most of it is we are talking of, in a way, leadership principles, in a way about concepts. That is what will help, and different leaders will have different styles. So
Absolutely.
if I listen to, say, 10 different interviews, I'm saying, oh, I'm now looking at my old self and many years back. Wish I had something like that. Nobody, we were literally thrown into the industry,
Yes.
and only trial and error. Only trial and error. So more errors, and every time you made an error, simple totaling error, somebody taught you. So, and therefore, I think it's a fantastic platform where you can
Thank you.
listen to practitioners, most importantly,
Absolutely.
and not just be related only to the book.
And that's why I am privileged. We are honored to have you on the show. You've been extremely patient and very forthcoming and giving with your insights. So truly, thank you for sharing such deep insights into the future of media and marketing in India.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Pavan.
You're very welcome. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
So that was my conversation. Very insightful for me, extremely satisfying, and definitely it's going to help me a lot with the peerless Kartik Sharma. Very self-effacing, soft-spoken, enormous value that I took from him. So once again, I'm thanking Kartik Sharma for being on this episode. Thank you for tuning in. This is your host and friend Pavan R Chawla signing off. Stay safe, stay informed, take care. Bye-bye.